Going on, guys? Yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Jamaican baby, you're funny. Russell, do you trust it? Maybe. Maybe. I am considering getting into some shorts on gold. I'm gonna. I wanted to see it go back up a bit before actually dropping. This thing might go without me. Real quick though, let's go over a trade I was in. I just exited actually before getting on live. And I'll tell you guys why I exited as well. On the 4-hour GC, I noticed. Oh, that is humongous. Not what I wanted. Okay. I noticed this doji candle at the bottom of the downtrend that we had. And so I decided to take some longs. Only went with one micro because, again, if you know anything about me, you know that I hate trading right off the open. I like to give the market a little bit of time to kind of just settle, do its thing, and then, I'll look for some more opportunities afterwards. But because I took it right near the open, I decided to just go with one micro. And then if we turn back our indicators, I was targeting the 9 EMA on the 4-hour. It was actually at like 173-ish earlier when I was in the trade. And then here, we could just jump down to smaller time frame real quick. We go RTH. You always want to do RTH, guys, whenever we gap up or gap down, because that is the only way to actually see the gap. So now you see here, there is a literal gap in price. There's just nothing here, right? So what I like to do is I like to come in, I like to just draw my gap so that I can then make mark the levels of that gap. The rectangle just helps me see it a little bit better. I get to see the midpoint. So once you remove the rectangle, you then are left with this dashed line. I can make it a different color just so you guys can see. Let's do yellow so you guys can see that a little bit better. And then, okay. So you have the midpoint here, this yellow dashed line, and then up here at 208 is full gap fill on GC. So I mark those right off the open just so I can see and have that there as a visual, right? And so my target off the 4-hour, that trade that I was in, let's go back ETH. My target was around 173, which was the 90 man, the 4-hour, but I also knew we could hit 176 because that is the midpoint of the gap. And that is typically where you can see some sort of rejection or some sort of selling. So that was the idea behind my long. The reason why I exited was we jumped down to the 15-minute. So the 15-minute closed green, but it closed as a shooter candle here. I don't particularly love to see those when we are trying to move higher, because that just tells me that there is some sort of buyer exhaustion. So I gave it another 15 minutes, and then that brings us to our 30-minute candle closure. Okay, so two 15-minute candles equals the 30-minute candle, right? And right before this close, I could see that it was already forming as a bearish shooter candle at the top of a trend, which is indicative of what, guys? Same thing I talk about every single day. It's indicative of a reversal back to the downside. And so I just exited my gold longs for a couple points. It was nothing crazy. And then I was considering getting short, but I wanted to see some sort of retest of like 153, 154 in order for me to have my limit here and then write it down to literally where it is now. But it just happened to, the new candle opened up, and it just happened to have a ton more of selling pressure than buying pressure. So we didn't even get a retest. We just got the sell off right off the bat. So yeah, I missed that, but it's always nice to see your ideas pan out. And I even said all of this in the Discord. I talked about, the 4-hour candle on GC at the open. I talked about I didn't like the way GC was looking, and if it closed the way it would, then I would have to get out of my longs. And then I also spoke about I will try some shorts if the 30-minute looks the way it is by the time it closes. And of course, the shorts went without me. So that is GC. That is my play of what I was in earlier. Um, Let me just move this to be. Okay, so that is my GC play. And also, if you wanted to take this off shorter time frames, you could have. Again, my entry for longs was off the 4 hour, but look at how nice you have this. You can kind of make the case that it's a bull flag of some sort. It looks clean on the 15 and the 30. And once we broke out of this, call it a bull flag, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. But we obviously are moving down, 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 and then we finally have that big breakout, which is you obviously see how big this 30-minute candle is. And then if you are someone who missed this initial pop, you would want to see a retest of this flag and hold for a continuation higher. But I don't know if we get that. But anyway, let's look at ES real quick. Tell you guys what I saw on ES. Although actually what I missed on ES, because this all happened during Asia last night. And during Asia, I was just super, super focused on GC. Didn't even look at the indices. Obviously, my bad. I completely missed a really good setup. But this is drawn on my other monitor, so you guys can't see it here. But I will just redraw. This is basically what I had drawn before we even sold off. I just drew this trend line here because again, this is, guys, you can make the case of this is just a bull flag or a falling wedge, and it's just waiting to break higher. Okay, so that is why I draw these. It just helps me with the visual of knowing when we finally break out. Okay, so anyway, yesterday we have this 12-hour candle here. This is how it looks by close New York session. This 12-hour candle looks as a shooter candle. Obviously, this line is acting as resistance, right? So we have a shooter candle at resistance. Asia opens up, or we have the open at 6 p.m. and we completely just sell off, guys. And we don't see any sort of a seller exhaustion, and we just see continuation lower. And where do we come? I mean, you cannot make this up. I just had drawn this before. Where do we come to retest? We retest this trend line here. And what do we see? Where do we see some sort of reversal? We see once we have the gap fill, and this is probably a gap a lot of people missed, okay? I will remove the rectangle. I just want to show you guys for visual purposes so you guys can see. There is a gap between this candle from Friday to this candle on Sunday. And ES filled it. We come retest this trend line. And then the next 12-hour candle that opens up, we start to push higher. Now, what did I do when we opened up this morning? We're jumping now on lower time frame real quick. I know, guys, this is a lot that I'm throwing at you, but I just want to walk you through my thought process and what I've seen so far this morning in the hour that it's been, okay? Again, like we did with GC, you want to hop on lower time frame and you want to go on regular trading hours so you can do what? So you can see the gap, because we obviously gap down overnight. Now, when market opens up, you want to see where that gap, how big is that gap? Where's the midpoint? Where's the gap fill? And so that's exactly what I did. Come in, I draw my rectangle for, again, visual purposes, so I can have my midpoint marked out, which happens to be at 74.90. I need you guys to remember that level for me real quick. 74.90, and then let's remove the rectangle, and full gap fill is at 75.40. I'm going to change the color of these levels so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, now you see it as the 2 yellow lines, right? In the Discord, I literally said 74.90 is where I can see ES start to have some sort of resistance and reject. What is 74.90, guys? That is the midpoint of the gap. You can literally see, we can go back to ETH. You can literally see, where did we reject? Where did we reject? I mean, it's literally not rocket science. Midpoints are super important. If you're not looking at the 50% of anything, you're missing out on some context, okay? We have a 15-minute candle close as a doji at the top of a trend at the midpoint of the overnight gap. And then if you want to look at it on the 5-minute, this is the open, right? You have the 9:30 candle open. Let's count how many green candles there are. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green candles in a row. And you don't get your first red candle until we what? We tapped into that midpoint. I mean, it's literally not rocket science at all, guys. And then if you want to turn on the indicators, because, you know, you typically would have them on anyway, I had them on. Where does my midpoint line up with? It also lines up with the 4th OR rotation upside. You have your OR rotation and your midpoint both lining up together, which is added confluence if you wanted to see that rejection. Again, posted this in the Discord, spoke about it. I'm not some wizard. I never will claim to be. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. Just a little bit. Now, what I want to see is, I want to see us tap into the 9 EMA on the 15, which also aligns with the second OR rotation to the upside. Let's see if there is some sort of reaction here where buyers can step in. That is where I would want to see. Now, this is, I think, your pivot level for the day. If we end up losing 74.60, and if buyers don't defend this here, then you can say goodbye to full gap fill, in my opinion, at least for now, for the time being. This is a super important level for them to defend, and super important level if you missed this entire run up. This is the retest that you would want to see to hold so that you can enter longs and ride up the trend. That is what you would want to see. Okay, that's really the two that I wanted to speak about. Again, I know that was a lot to throw at you guys at one time. But yeah. And then another thing, actually, like, we can just touch up on it real quick. I've been speaking about Russell being the one to push off the open, slow down around 10 a.m., and then curl back over. And this morning I was speaking to Real Ridge Runner in, the Discord, and I was telling her, I said, today might be the outlier day where this doesn't necessarily work out the way it's been working out, only because we gap down. Okay? All the other times where this has worked for the past like 2-3 weeks, or this is actually the 3rd week. So for the past 2 weeks, it's just been, we've had some regular action overnight during Asia, and then, we push off the open. So today it seemed like Russell was unfazed around 10 a.m. and it wasn't until 10:15, a little bit later than, usual, or 10:20ish, we start to turn. Again, if you are bullish, 29.96, 3,000 needs to be defended on the Russell for continued upside. Just a matter of, will they do it or not? I don't know. I legit don't know. And it's kind of sad seeing GC go without me here. All right, anyway, what's up, chat? How are we doing? Threw a lot at you guys. But that's what I want this live to be. If it's not gonna be me capturing a trade within the hour that I'm on here, then I at least wanna just dispense some sort of information, some sort of knowledge for you guys to just pick up a little bit of nuggets here and there. Like I already know the trades will come. It's just a matter of my setup being there. Give me 1 second though. Just need to post something. Okay, I'm actually gonna shift my focus from GC onto ES here. I'm gonna go jump down to the 15-minute and I'm gonna set a limit. Something small, nothing crazy. I'm gonna set a limit for some longs and see what buyers can do here. Again, 70, 74, 60 has to hold for continued upside from here. If we don't hold, this will shit the bed. And I'm very well aware of that. Good morning, though. Good morning, SJ, EIGI, Anthony, Real Ridge Runner. What's up, guys? What is up? Like I always talk about, guys, any retest of any sort is always going to be a little bit on the riskier side because these are typically your make or break levels, your make or break areas. So, we'll see. We shall see. Good morning, Earmark. How are you doing? Long time I haven't seen you in the futures chat. I saw you this morning, but guys, let's thumb up the stream a bit, please, if you can, if you haven't already done so. And if you missed the entire spiel that I gave for the past 15 minutes, highly, highly recommend going back and rewatching that just to see, my thought process and what I saw this in the market this morning. Oh, don't come on. I'm seeing tape pick up here. But if they go without me and don't film me here, I'm gonna be pissed. Brother. This misses me by 2 ticks, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. About to be a sad day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no problem, Real Ridge Runner. And again, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can always feel free to reach out or ask them now. I'm gonna start posting little snippets, video snippets of the streams, of whenever I drop something good. And I'll post it as like reels and stuff so you guys can always have it to reference back. But yeah, my goal with these streams is really to just, I don't know, show you guys what I think and how I trade. What's up, Andy? Yeah, Mark, the only thing I can tell you is to just slow down a little bit. If you're going to start over, just slow down. Think about how you feel right now. Keep that in mind for when you do start over. So you can remind yourself whenever you feel like you're about to get reckless, you're about to do something you shouldn't be doing. Remember how it feels to not be trading. How it feels to, blow an account. The disappointment that comes with that. This is going to be frustrating here. Oh, this is a joke. Chat. Oh, there's 10 points. I mean, holy crap. If anyone managed to get in that, you're already up. Yeah, that was a buy limit. I was trying to go long. It missed me by 2 ticks. Good morning, Bearish Reaper. Can be real life. What is the pink line? That's my 9 EMA. So the reason why I was taking the trade is because it coincided with my 15-minute 9 EMA, along with my second OR rotation to the upside. This was our make or break level here. If buyers defend, then we will go higher, and if bulls fail to defend, then sellers will just run us right back down. So this was your retest for longs, and it missed me by 2 ticks, which is a damn shame because I'm really liking this reaction here. I keep it just for a little bit longer because we still have 7 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. A lot can happen in 15. Yeah, no problem, Earmark. Just remember, anything you're going through right now, I've gone through times 10. So if you ever need any advice or anything like that, that's what I'm here for. And Q is a little bit weaker than ES here. Real quick, let's just take a look at that. Yeah, and Q is currently below 9 EMA on the 15, below its second OR rotation. Not saying that can't change, because again, we still have 6 minutes on this candle. A lot can happen in 6 minutes, but just observing what I'm seeing right here, right now, this is very ugly on NQ. I want to see the hourly candle on ES. Yeah, I'm gonna cancel this order, guys. The way the hourly is looking right now, it doesn't really favor more upside. If anything, it looks like it wants to drop even more. It's just risky here because look, when we came up to this 72 level before, when it missed me and pushed 10 points, the hourly didn't look as bad. And again, there's still 5 minutes left. A lot can happen. I'm not denying that. But with the fact that NQ is still dropping and NQ looks like this on the hourly, Doesn't really make me want to go long. Yeah, definitely fire exhaustion here. $74.60 is Bull's last hope, in all honesty. Let's see. Can you guys give me a sec though? I'll be right back. Don't leave. Just gonna be back. Okay, I'm back. What's up, Terry? Anyone in a trade and how's it going? No trade yet, but eyeing this hourly close for potential shorts. I think it's worth a shot, but it's gonna require having wider stops in all honesty. Yo, you're Jamaican, baby. You gotta stop. Vibe coding is my thing, not yours. See, here's the beautiful thing about vibe coding. It's the fact that I can make anything I want come to fruition, right? The bad thing about vibe coding is other people can do the same. Like, no. No, sir. Don't be stealing my thunder, yo. All right. Here is my next idea here. Let's see if we can pop a couple more points higher on the new hourly candle. Fill me on these shorts. And then we can target the first OR rotation to the upside, which is that 45 level. And then stops are really like at the top of this 30-minute candle. Let's see. The other scenario that can play out, guys, is this 9 EMA, second OR rotation to the upside, both hold, and we see, you know, a move from here literally back up. I've seen that happen so many times. But the reason why I'm taking this is the higher time frame is telling me a different story. Can this get invalidated? 100%. Is it worth a shot? For sure. When I try, Claude seems to get irritated with me or confused. Yeah, sometimes you will run into idiot Claude. This is something we've talked about on the NT stream. Idiot Claude is very, very real. Okay? You have to catch it when it's in the right mood. And you just have to be very, very descriptive and detailed about what you want. That's really all it comes down to. Russell's still trying to push here. Oh no. Annoying. I swear to you guys, if I miss this again, I might crash out. Guys, let's pump up those likes, please. We have 30 people watching. Thank you for tuning in. But can we please hit the thumbs up button? It's the only way this channel of mine can grow. So here's the thing. I can front run this and enter right now and, get in the shorts already. But I feel they might push this up, trap a couple more people, and then drop it. If I miss it, then I miss it. But that's what I get for being a little bit more cautious. Are any of you guys in anything? Talk to me, chat. Nope, got scared from the chop yesterday. I mean, that's valid. It's also a little bit tougher to trade, in my opinion, when we have these nasty gap ups or down. It's definitely a little bit harder to read and understand price. Yeah, wow, looks like they just want to go. NQ is super weak here. NQ is still negative 2.7% on the day. If this doesn't fill me, then that might be my sign to just go touch grass for the rest of the day. Go hit the gym. Oh, Sanji, I'm happy you are using the indicator and it's been working great for you. I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah, 100%. All credit goes to Pax. I would never know about the 30-second opening range if it weren't for him. But I'm really glad that I'm able to bring something, to life that looks good on the charts and works well. So, very happy. I'm still waiting to figure out the rotations on the Russell. Yeah, this is gonna go without me, guys. Should I front run it? I might. This is where I want to be patient, and then that patience doesn't necessarily pay because you just gotta sit here and watch it go. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I'm seeing the tape pick up here a bit. ASD, how are you? How are you, my friend? All right, well, there you have it, guys. This thing's gonna go. I'm gonna cancel this limit. That's 2 trades so far this morning that have just gone without me. I am seeing a similar setup on gold. Let's get rid of this. Sorry. This might be worth a shot here. Just one. And I'm going to lower stops. 59. So we're risking 12 points. I think this is where I'd like TP to be, 29. By the way, guys, when you think you know, it's almost flipping from ES to GC and she's doing this and that. I have so many charts up that I'm watching at the same time that you guys don't see necessarily. So I'm on different time frames and different charts the entire day. So yeah. What platform are you using? I'm using TradingView and I have my Tradeovate Ninja Trader login logged in. I don't know why I said login, but yeah, I'm logged in through Tradeovate, Ninja Trader. They're the same. You know, the login works for both. And let's watch ES too, guys, just to see if that trade pans out the way we spoke about it. It's going. Going to give you a thumbs up and going back to regular work. Thank you, Gene. You're the best. Have a great one. Hope work goes well. ASD, I'm good. Besides the fact that there have been 2 trades so far that I have missed my entries on. But it just tells me my idea is right. Just my execution, it hasn't really been on par, only because I'm being a little bit more conservative. I'm being a little bit more cautious. I am setting limits and waiting for price to get there, and it's just been missing me by a couple points. GC missed me by 2 ticks, so. Good morning, George. Good morning, good morning. Hello, guys. We have 40 people watching. That's amazing. Chat, if you guys can please thumb up the stream for me. That would be amazing. GC's moving. I'm gonna hop back on the hourly. This is the time frame that I found my setup on. Yeah, what's up, DJ? Real Verge Runner, yeah, that would be a dream come true. Having 200 people watching, that would be awesome. I think it's partly my fault. I don't really promote the stream as much as I should. But yeah, guys, if you're new here, subscribe, come hang out for a couple days. No, I'd never forget about you guys. Trust me, I know who tunes in every day and who doesn't. What's the typical RR that you do for scalping? George, I don't look at RR. It's not at the forefront of my mind. I'm not sitting here thinking, I'm gonna do 2 to 1 or whatever. I'm not doing that. Um I just set my stop loss in TP based off the chart and where I see price potentially going and where my setup can get invalidated. Yeah, exactly, Jamaican baby. I'm just playing level to level. That's it. Sorry, my bot is deleting your messages because that word is banned. Um but yeah, level to level is basically how I do it. Um and I'm not really much of a scalper. There are some days where I get into a trade and it works out right away, which is amazing. But that's not the case on a regular basis. So yeah, I'll get in and I'm holding for X amount of time. Seeing tape pick up again. This has to be the best setup I've seen on ES in a long time. This hourly candle. Well, I shouldn't say in a long time because I saw the 4-hour setup this morning. Not 4-hour. What the hell am I saying? I'm mixing up GC and ES. The 12-hour setup on ES and the 4-hour setup on GC. But yes, this is very, very beautiful. Exactly what I want to see. Jamaican baby, I'm watching book map, so basically can see all the orders coming in. And I can see when we slow down a bit and when things pick up, when there's more action going on. So just But yeah, but not by any means. I'm not an order flow guru at all. I just have it up so I can see where there's some resting orders and see how, we're moving. Like usually when news comes in, I can see it happening already before it comes in. Like I can tell when there's, a Trump tweet or some crazy news or something because, this picks up a lot. But yeah, I mainly have it just for visual purposes. Far more knowledgeable people on this than me. Sounds like hacks. Yeah, bro, I do be hacking. Just want to see a continuation on gold. Um, I don't want to see previous week low hold as some sort of support. I just want to see it go lower. Good morning, Salma. I heard you mention gold has been good to you in Asia. Could you go through what you look for and what has been working? Yeah, Bori Kwan, I definitely can. Yeah, so let's just go over yesterday. Again, in the Discord last night, I was talking about how gold Sorry, I'm trying to turn off these indicators. How gold shorts looked good, and this was around like 6:30ish p.m., something like that. I was watching basically the 2 hour and the hourly. I was just looking at the way we were structured, okay? And the EMA wasn't looking like this the way it's looking right now. It was looking a little bit higher. And it just seemed like we couldn't get past above the 9 EMA. Price was really struggling there and it was acting as resistance. And you can see it here really look at the hourly just for visual purposes. You could see here that towards obviously yesterday we chopped a lot, right? So you can see this chop happening here on gold, and you can see how the hourly candles are very, very wicky. And going into that 6 p.m., I just didn't think we can get past above, and it just looked like we wanted to kind of H. But it's not really the prettiest H in the book at all because you have all these wicks in both directions. But you can kind of, visually see it a little bit. You can even say some sort of bearish some sort of bear flag here. All right, like you can kind of see that, right? You guys see that real quick? Looked like we were ready to make the next leg down. Um, so let's just remove this real quick. Hop on the 2 hour. And then you have this setup that I love to see, which is just a doji candle and very indicative of a reversal to the downside, guys. The only thing that was a little bit crazy that scared me for a bit was I was in the shorts, very light. I was in on multiple accounts, right? This candle here at 8 o'clock, I even said it in the Discord. I said I'm not loving the way that GC is moving right now. It's moving very, very manipulated. You have this nasty wick to the downside, and then we just pop back up, wick to the upside, small little wick to the upside, and then the new candle opens up. We push higher, trap more buyers up here, trap more people, stop more people out, and then we dumped. Okay. Um so I would say last night wasn't the cleanest really on GC. It definitely could trap people and could have faked you out a lot. Um but it did end up working out, and honestly, I was short from about like 4206. I wish I held. Let me tell you, when I look back later that night, I was like, holy shit, I should have held. And we just continued to drop. Um, so yeah, really what I look for is the same thing I look for during New York Sesh. I just know that during New York Sesh, Asia doesn't move the way it needs to move or should be moving. It can kind of just linger, right? At least during Asia, that gets traded more often during Asia markets than it does New York Sesh. But guys, real quick, yes, trade is playing out. I hate to see it. I love to see it because I love to see my thesis pan out. I hate to see it because it's going without me. So I'm hate watching this thing right now. But if anybody did manage to get in shorts, you are getting paid right now. Yeah, you are so freaking paid. Let's see if GC can do the same. Guys, I'm only on here for the next 10 minutes. So if you have any more questions or anything like that, start asking them now, please. Here we go. Seeing tape pick back up again. That's good though, Real Ridge Runner. It's good to just practice. Where do I think it'll go the rest of the day? I have no clue. if I mean, your guess is as good as anybody else's in here, but let's see. Let's look at. Yeah, I mean, we can go down to 30. 30 is not far fetched. You got NQ very weak. We can, if we get down to 30, we can even make new lows. But just trade what you see in front of you. Don't try and guess what can happen later. Take it as it comes, guys. What's up, Shanti? How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Can't complain. Honestly, decent read today, guys. I highly recommend anyone who's joining late, go back to the beginning of the stream once the stream is over. Watch the first like 15 minutes. I walk you through everything I saw on ES and GC, walk you through my setups, my thought process, the levels that I was eyeing, why I got those levels. Very, I would say very informative first 15 minutes. That is definitely worth your time to, go back and watch. Can't complain though. Today's been pretty awesome as far as read. Sometimes the execution is just not there, right? I was being a little too conservative with my execution. We're starting to see a little bit of movement in GC. Need, like I said before, guys, need for us to lose this. Oh, I think I turned it off. Hold on. Yeah. Need to lose previous week low. Shanti, my thoughts on ES is we can go much lower. I was trying to get short ES, missed it, didn't fill me. I think, you know, we can come down, retest London lows. We can make new lows. We can even drop down to, you know, 7,400 if NQ can drag us down there. So, yeah, if you guys are in shorts, I would hold a runner or two. Wouldn't exit your position fully and just trail your stops. Just need gold to move with the indices here. I don't want to see a repeat of this happening on GC. Don't want to see another repeat of, you know, we break out higher for the next leg up. I see continuation to the downside. Might even lower stops more. Now we're only risking 7 points. All right, guys, though, I'm out of here. I'm going to keep this trade on, whether it hits TP or stop loss, whatever the case may be. I hope my read has helped a couple of you guys get a better understanding on the market today. I'm going to step out of here and I'm going to go hit the gym. I recommend all you guys to do the same if you're already done trading. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the thumbs up and the subscriptions. Really means a lot. Catch you guys for tomorrow's.